Before we begin, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the next few minutes will take you inside a case so disturbing you'll wish it was fiction. The call came in just after 8:30 p.m. to Muncie 911. The voice on the other end was shaking, half whisper, half scream. "My baby's not breathing. She's cold, please. She's cold." Police and paramedics arrived within minutes at the Best Way Inn, a low-budget motel off the interstate where families on the edge of things rented rooms by the week. Unit 14 smelled faintly of formula and mildew. The woman standing by the door wore a fast food uniform, her name tag cracked down the middle. On the bed beside her lay a diaper bag, unopened. In the corner, a tiny swing creaked once, then stopped. Inside the swing sat 3-month-old Isabella Vera, her head tilted slightly to the right, her lips pale. The first officer to reach her froze mid-motion. Rigor mortis had already set in. The paramedic whispered to his partner, "She's been gone for hours." The mother collapsed to her knees. He was supposed to watch her. He said he'd feed her. Within 10 minutes, the motel parking lot was flooded with red and blue light. Neighbors stepped out onto the walkway, some recording, some crying. The father, Jacob Vera, 27, was nowhere to be found. His phone went straight to voicemail. His car, a gray Chevy Impala, was missing from its spot. Detective Cross arrived just before 9. 12 years on the job had shown her every kind of domestic tragedy, but something about this one felt wrong. The scene was too still. The baby's bottle sat on the table, full and untouched. The swing's music box still played a faint lullaby, like a mockery of calm. She examined the bed. No signs of struggle, no overturned furniture, no forced entry. The only anomaly was a crumpled receipt near the trash can. Gas station in Danville, Illinois, time-stamped 3 hours earlier. Cross frowned. Illinois was over 100 miles away. When the mother steadied herself enough to speak, she said Jacob had texted her around noon. "I'm heading out for a bit. Don't worry, she's fine." That was the last she heard from him. He didn't answer her calls all afternoon. She thought he was just angry again, another argument over money, over being trapped. As investigators canvassed the area, security footage from a nearby convenience store surfaced. At 1:17 p.m., Jacob Vera was seen buying a coffee and a pack of cigarettes. The baby, nowhere in sight. He looked calm, almost relieved. Detective Cross stared at the footage, feeling a chill climb her spine. She left her. She really left her. By midnight, a BLO went out across state lines. Troopers along I-74 were told to be on the lookout for a gray Impala, plate IN 7943. But before dawn, Illinois State Police radioed back. They'd found the car abandoned at a rest stop near Champaign. The engine was cold, the driver gone. In the passenger seat lay a folded note written in uneven scrawl. Cross read the words once, then again, unable to make sense of them. "I couldn't handle the noise anymore. Tell her I tried." She looked up at her partner. He's running, but not from the law. And as the sun bled over the horizon, one question echoed through every investigator's mind. What really drove Jacob Vera to walk away from his own child? They tracked him for 2 days before he appeared again, this time on a blurry gas station camera near Peoria, Illinois. Jacob Vera's expression was hollow, detached, like a man moving through a dream he didn't want to wake up from. He bought another coffee, used cash, and left in a stranger's vehicle that police later learned belonged to a woman he met at the rest stop. Detective Cross leaned over the footage in the incident room. He's not running towards anything. He's drifting. The words echoed in the stale air. Behind her, a wall was covered in photos. The motel room, Isabella's swing, Jacob's driver's license photo, and a map connecting Indiana to Illinois with a red string that ended in nothing. The coroner's report came in that afternoon. Cause of death, positional asphyxiation. The baby had likely slipped forward in the swing, her airway blocked. The death could have been accidental if someone had been there to notice, but Jacob hadn't been. He'd left hours earlier.
Cross felt the sting of it. She had seen neglect before, but not like this. Not so deliberate. Jacob's friends painted a picture of a man unraveling. He wasn't violent, one of them said, just gone. You'd talk to him and he'd stare through you. Another remembered him saying, Sometimes I just want to drive until there's no sound. Meanwhile, the search expanded. Highway patrol, FBI, and local law enforcement combed through truck stops, bus stations, and small-town diners. They found his backpack behind a dumpster in Bloomington. Inside, a few shirts, a phone charger, and a torn photo of Isabella with her mother. Detective Cross picked up the half photo with gloves. The mother's face had been ripped clean off. Anger or guilt, she muttered. 3 days later, a call came in from a small diner just outside Springfield. A waitress reported a man sitting in the corner booth, head down and trembling. He was crying into his coffee, she told dispatch. Said he made a mistake he can't fix. When officers arrived, Jacob was gone. He'd left a 20 on the counter and a napkin folded under the cup. Scrawled across it, "Tell them I never meant for it to happen. I just wanted quiet." Cross closed her eyes as she read the report. "Quiet," she whispered. "He keeps saying that word." By that evening, they traced a bus ticket purchased under his name, destination St. Louis. But when they checked the security footage at the terminal, they saw something unexpected. Jacob never boarded the bus. He'd handed his ticket to someone else, a homeless man, then walked out the back exit. Cross slammed her fist against the desk. "She's creating ghosts of himself," she said. "He wants us to think he's gone." Outside, the rain hammered the station windows, blurring the lights of the parking lot. And just when it seemed the trail was dying, a call came in from a small-town police department south of the city. A local farmer had found something strange in the woods behind his property. A small campsite, a fire still burning, and beside it, a child's pacifier half buried in the dirt. Cross grabbed her coat. She said, "That's it. He's nearby." But when the officers reached the site, the fire was still warm, the ashes smoking. Jacob Vera was gone again, this time leaving behind only a single footprint, half washed away by rain. The woods outside Springfield were endless. Bare trees, cold wind, mud swallowing every step. Detective Lydia Cross stood over the fading footprint, the air sharp with the smell of burnt wood and rain. "He's still out here," she said quietly. "He's not done running." For days, police drones scanned the forest. Dogs picked up Jacob Vera's scent, then lost it near the edge of an abandoned service road. There, investigators found a worn flannel shirt tangled in the branches and an empty baby bottle lying beside it, half filled with rainwater. Cross crouched beside it, her hand trembling. "He keeps coming back to her," she whispered. By now, the story had spread across the country. News anchors called him the father who vanished. Social media turned the tragedy into a wave of outrage, pity, and speculation. Some called him a monster. Others said he snapped under pressure. But Cross couldn't shake the feeling that something deeper was buried beneath his silence.
Then, 6 days after his disappearance, a man matching Jacob's description walked into a rural sheriff's office 30 miles west of St. Louis. He looked exhausted, gaunt, soaked, his hands shaking. "I'm here for Detective Cross," he said. "Tell her I'm done running." When she arrived, he was sitting in the interview room, head down, staring at his wrists, as if he couldn't believe they were still attached to him. He spoke softly, almost too quiet for the recorder to catch. "I didn't mean to hurt her," he said. "I just needed peace. I thought if I drove far enough, the noise would stop." Cross leaned forward. "What noise, Jacob?" He blinked slowly, eyes bloodshot. Her crying, the motel walls, the arguments, everything. "I kept hearing it even when it wasn't there." He swallowed hard. "So I drove. I thought she'd fall asleep. I didn't know she'd stop breathing." The room went silent except for the hum of the ceiling light. "Why didn't you call for help?" Cross asked. His lips trembled. "Because I knew what I'd done." "You can't come back from that." Later, detectives pieced together the final timeline. Jacob had left Isabella in the swing at 10 a.m., telling himself he'd only be gone a few minutes. But he didn't return. He drove aimlessly for hours, crossed the state line and sat at a rest stop for nearly 3 hours before leaving his car.
When he finally looked at his phone, he saw 13 missed calls from her mother, but no courage to answer any of them. In court weeks later, he pleaded guilty to neglect resulting in death. He didn't cry when the verdict was read, but as the judge recited Isabella's name, he whispered it under his breath, over and over, like he was trying to summon her back. When the hearing ended, Cross stood in the hallway watching him being led away in cuffs. She didn't feel satisfaction, only an ache that lingered like a bruise. That night, she drove past the best way in. The room lights were off, the swing still visible through the dusty curtain. It swayed gently, as if touched by a draft. And in the quiet hum of her car, she finally understood what Jacob meant. The noise never stopped. It just moved from one person's heart to another. If you think this story was intense, you're not ready for the next one. Hit subscribe because what comes next might be even darker.